Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to do that joke next year. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just do the next joke. Probably you guys probably can tell I have this little white spot of hair on the side of my head. This is this white patch of hair. I don't know what it is. I got it when I was in high school or whatever. It's $5 to touch it if you want. You don't have to, but I'll take the money. I pointed out to a lady recently. I was like, yeah, I got this little white spot of hair. I don't know. She's like, oh, you know what? You should just dye the rest of your hair white. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not having lots of sex now, but I can't imagine that's going to help much. What psychotic woman my age from across the bars would be like, ooh, I gotta fuck that young Bob Barker right now. I tell you what, my mom's a lesbian. Why, you guys are wooing? All right. Did you see her on a website or something? Oh, yours is lesbian too? Oh, it's good for you. How long, since you were a kid, she's been gay, or? Cool. Mine came out to me when I was in high school, which kind of sucked. Because in middle school, you know, like with your guy friends, you want to like roast each other, make fun of each other. You know, like what do you always say to make fun of your friends? Hey, I'm fucking your mom. You know, that is like the #1 diss or roast you could say, you know? And before I knew she was gay, there was like no way of knowing if that was true or not, you know? Be like, hey man, what are you doing this weekend? He's like, I was fucking your mom, that's what I was doing, buddy. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's a good one, buddy. Then I get to high school and my mom was like, Peyton, I'm gay. School's gonna be a breeze tomorrow. I'm so excited to go to school. This is fantastic. Dad's gonna be upset, for sure. For sure. Dad will not like this one. I think of your latest tricks, this will be his least favorite. So now I'm in high school, like, hey man, what were you doing this weekend? It's like, hey, you know me, I was fucking your mom, that's what I was doing. Now I'm like, actually, no you weren't, there's a chance she was fucking yours, you know what I'm saying? So, alright.
Nobody's watching.
Everybody's got like OnlyFans nowadays, which is pretty crazy. Clap your hands, who's got OnlyFans in here? Do you, sir? Yeah? Do you actually?
Yeah.
You're fucking with me. $1,200 a year. What the fuck? You're just selling. Okay, there's a difference between OnlyFans and selling your dick pics to your cousin. Okay, there's a difference between $1,200 a year. That's fucking poverty level porn star. That does not count. But everyone's got OnlyFans nowadays.
We're 107.
Because when I was growing up, I'd make fun of your friends. You know, you'd be like, hey dude, I saw your mom on Pornhub last night. She's a hoe. You know? But now everyone's got OnlyFans. I can't imagine how kids are like insulting their friends nowadays. You know, they're like, dude, I saw your mom on OnlyFans. She makes dog shit money compared to my mom, okay? My mom can put a lava lamp in her chooch. She's a fucking beast, okay? I feel like chooch was a little hard for this crowd. Chooch. Who liked it? Should I keep chooching the joke? All right, McHenry fucks with the chooch joke. I was also getting my haircut recently. This lady who was cutting my hair, after every sentence she would end her sentence recently. This lady who was cutting my hair, after every sentence she would end her sentences by saying, "So that's pretty awesome." After every sentence, it was like a nervous tick or something. She just keeps saying it, and she'd be like, "So do you live here? Do you live in Chicago?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do you have a job?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "So, that's pretty awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." She's like, "You do live in Chicago?" I go, "Yeah." She's like, "So, that's pretty awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right." She's like, "Hey, have you always been heavy set?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." She's like, "So, that's pretty awesome." I'm like, "I mean, not really. I have struggles, you know." But I wanted to see how much she would say it to, because it was a nervous tick. She didn't want the conversation to get awkward, you know. That's why she kept saying it. I wanted to see, I should have done this, like how much I could get away with, how much she'd keep saying it. You know, I'm like, "Are you watching this Kanye West shit? He's pretty on the money, don't you think?" She's like, "So, that's pretty awesome, I guess." Fuck, why do I have to say this every time? What do you think about Bill Cosby? He's doing some good work. Oh, fuck, that's pretty awesome. Ah, fuck. Chooch. I just had to get a laugh. The joke didn't land the way it wanted to, so I'm just going to say chooch whenever a joke doesn't work. Chooch. All right, it got unfunny very quick. I was reading an article recently on famous last words. I like reading about that shit. I saw, the article was pretty good. It started off pretty strong. It started with the first emperor of Rome, Augustus. Do we know him in here? Yes, Augustus Gloop, the first emperor of Rome. But he was in that order. That's how it started off, Augustus, first emperor of Rome. His last words were, I found Rome of clay. I leave it to you of marble. Those are some last words. That's fucking prolific. Here's where they fucked up the article. The next person on that list was Amelia Earhart, the pilot who crashed her plane in the middle of the ocean. You know what her last words were? I'm not making this up. The article said, hey, we're running low on gas. Like, no shit. Like, it's her last words. Yeah, she crashed her plane in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's not like she's going to say something clever like, hey, Amelia, your plane's going down. She's like, oh, really? Fucking 7 years ago. You know, it's not like they put JFK's last words in there, like, son of a bitch. I was thinking about one thing. You know, it's weird growing up, like, as a guy, how awkward, like, how weird it is. Like, when your friend is annoying you when you're a kid and you want them to stop annoying you, you would call them gay. That's how you get them to stop annoying you. Now as an adult and your friend's annoying you and you want them to stop, you threaten them with something gay. You ever notice that? It's all guys laughing right now. It's a very weird, homophobic, full circle guys have. You're a kid, when you're a kid, you're like, dude, shut the fuck up, you're being gay, okay? Now as an adult, you're like, dude, shut the fuck up. I will literally twist your nipples till you come, okay? Is that what you want? I'll fucking take it there. I'm crazy. Also weird too how selfish kids can be. I remember like my group of friends, how selfish we were growing up. It was nuts, you know? Like I remember I was in elementary school one day, and my friend, we're both in the same class, he goes up to my teacher and he's like, excuse me, can I go to the nurse? I'm having chest pains. And my first thought was not even like, oh my God, Kyle, chest pains, what the fuck, you're 10, you good? What's up with these chest pains, what are you, 40? You know? My first thought was chest pains. That's a fucking brilliant excuse, that's excellent. I've been using my tummy hurts for the last 3 months, you know? It inspires me. I gotta like come up with something clever to say to her, you know? So like the next week I go up to my teacher, I'm like, excuse me, can I go to the nurse? I believe I just had my first period. That's what happened. Oh yeah. How you like that, Kyle? I'm bleeding out of my dick. Chest pains can fucking suck it. Oh, what's that? That's a girl's only thing? Oh fuck, I'm back to tummy hurts. I wrestled in high school too. Anybody wrestling here? We got any wrestlers? Past, present, future? No? Okay. Maybe the OnlyFans guy, get weird. Bedroom stuff. I wrestled in high school. I was not very good. I was pretty bad. Here's how bad I was. There's a video of me wrestling in high school, and in the video, I pin the kid on the mat, and I win the match. Very good for me. Thank you. And at the end of the video, you hear my dad behind the camera, he goes, oh, you fucking won. You fucking won. And you know what? It wasn't like the proud enthusiasm. It wasn't like the enthusiasm of a proud father, you know? It's not like he was like, yeah, that's my boy, I love you, kid. Oh, way to get the big W. Woo! We're celebrating tonight. Root beer floats. You know, nothing like that. It was like the enthusiasm you have when you see like a raccoon get out of a dumpster by itself. You know what I mean? You're like watching it for like, hey, fucking, okay, he got out of there, fuck yeah. I can't believe I've been watching this for 3.5 hours. Good for that little raccoon. How about a hand for your wait staff and bar staff tonight? Yeah. Make sure you tip them when they're, take care of them. They deal with a lot of assholes. And, being a server can suck. I know, I used to be a server at Olive Garden. You guys like Olive Garden in here? The OnlyFans guy? Was that someone? You like Olive Garden in the back? Yeah. I don't know why people like it. Olive Garden fucking blows. Like it sucks. At least one I worked at, I hated it. What I always hated about Olive Garden, every time I would show up for work, they'd be like, Peyton, remember, when you're here, you're family. I'd always be like, I hope not, because I just had sex with a waitress. So that would put such a damper on my night if I just... How much family? Is this like a second cousin thing? I can do that with a second cousin thing. I can do that. But this is a brother, sister, I'm out. I'm out. Another thing I didn't like about Olive Garden, as a server, you get asked very stupid questions. You know, anyone who's been a server knows that. You get asked stupid-ass questions. This is the number one question I got asked at Olive Garden. I'd seat people at their table, you know, and they'd be like, oh, excuse me, sir, do we get breadsticks? I'm like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing here right now? It's Olive Garden. It's Olive Garden. I don't know if you watched television the last 35 years, but we don't do chili at the OG here, okay? It's fucking breadsticks. It's like our entire thing. You know, that's like going into Chuck E. Cheese. You're like, excuse me, are we getting pink eye? Like, of course, what the fuck are you thinking? What's going on? All right, I'm paying ready. Thank you guys. You ready for your next comedian? Yeah? All right, come on, keep clapping right now. Let's get really loud for him. Show him some love. Very funny, Mr. Jeff Warren, ladies and gentlemen. Keep clapping for Jeff Warren, guys. Come on, here we go.
How's everybody doing tonight? I don't care. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm the first black person ever to be at McHenry, and I'm kind of scared. Please stop laughing. I got pulled over 20 minutes before I got here. Cop comes up. He's like, license and registration, and I was like, no problem. But before we continue, I want you to know that I identify as a white male. And he was like, you're free to go. Go white privilege, go white privilege. And earlier on today, I had a near-death experience. I took a shower and I get out and I realized that I didn't have any lotion left. 99% white audience. Okay, you guys are gonna learn today. Fun fact about black people. When we take a shower, we have no more than 15 minutes to put lotion on our bodies. And if we don't put lotion on inside that 15-minute window, we die. We just disappear. So I'm glad I couldn't make it out here. Give it up for Peyton. He's a good comedian. I don't do comedy. My therapist told me to come up here because I just had problems. And I blame my dad. He's always been a really bad drug addict. And he just bought himself a house. And I went out to see it. And we were outside on the porch. And I heard the most beautiful sound that I've ever heard in my life. And I look up and I see this wind chime. And I was shocked. Not because I've never seen a wind chime before, but I've never seen one that was made out of shoestrings and old crack pipes. Is anybody married here?
Yeah.
That was the most pathetic applause I've seen in my life. I understand where you're coming from, though. 2 weeks ago, I celebrated my 10-year wedding anniversary. And it's weird because 2 days after celebrating my 10-year anniversary, my wife had her very first orgasm. Don't clap, I wasn't there. Some dude named Chad. My man, what's your name, bro?
Kyle.
Kyle, do you have any friends that are named Chad?
I know a few.
Talk to me after the show. Talk to me after the show. And before I got married, I wasn't too good at dating. I was a terrible dater. I remember I was dating this blind girl, and we had to stop seeing each other because, yeah. And then I was dating a deaf girl, and we broke up because she never listened to my side of the argument. And then I started dating a midget, and we broke up because she had chlamydia. She had chlamydia. Yeah. My baby's mom, when she was 9 months pregnant, we were in the middle of having sex. And things were getting kind of hot and heavy. And the next thing that I know, I'm drenched with gushing fluids. Like, what the hell? And before she told me that her water had broke, in my mind I was thinking, damn, I am good. I used to be a motivational speaker. I used to travel to inner city schools and teach kids about positive thinking and the powers of the mind. Thank you. And to make ends meet, I got a job as a dispatcher for the emergency medical bracelet Life Alert. Remember Life Alert? And it was crazy because after completing a real energetic speech about positive thinking and perseverance, I went into work and my very first call was this old woman. She was like, I've fallen and I can't get up. Ignoring protocol, I was like, yes you can. Just put your mind to it. Inside of the word can't is the word can. I believe it. And then I hung up. I don't work there anymore. Does anybody smoke weed in the house? Any weed smokers? All right, weed is magical. But I don't like to smoke in front of my kids. Let me go back. I smoke a lot of weed, and that's one of the side effects. You forget some shit. But, sometimes when I smoke weed, I come up with grandiose thoughts and grandiose dreams. And one of those grandiose dreams is that I want to become the manager of the ultimate girl group. Stay with me. I want to get the Spice Girls and combine them with group Salt and Pepper. The name of the group, Seasoned Professionals. Seasoned Professionals. Stupid. So stupid. True story, in 1990, I was the only black kid in my whole school, and we buried a time capsule, and being the only black kid in my whole school, I wanted to put something inside of it that represented my people, you know? And last week, we dug it up, they invited everybody back, it was a really big thing, and we're digging it up, and inside this time capsule were snap bracelets, Vanilla Ice CDs, Ninja Turtle toys. So you can only imagine how I felt when they pulled out my 2 photos of O.J. Simpson and Bill Cosby. How the fuck was I supposed to know? I was a kid. Another true story. Last month, I bought a new used car online, and I go out to pick it up, and the seller was a trans woman. It always gets so fucking quiet when I say, relax. So I go out and pick it up, and I'm looking over the car, and I was like, how are the brakes? And she was like, brand new. How are the tires? 3 of them are brand new, and the other one works just fine. Okay. What's the transmission like? And she was like, our mission is to be treated the same way as everyone else. Thank you so much for asking. I was talking about the car. I like science, and I build stuff. And last year, I built a time machine. And like, if you had a time machine, or if you had a time machine, it would be cool. But me, I have this skin condition. I'm black. So I can only go back like 50 years before shit starts to get kind of weird. But I wanted to go back and meet Jesus Christ because I heard he was a pretty cool dude. So I'm punching the coordinates, boop, 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 bam. Lo and behold, I'm at the Last Supper with Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples. And I'm looking at the table and I see Judas. He was right there. And even before he betrayed Jesus, he was a fucking dick. Like, I was looking at him. He grabs a salt shaker from the table and loosens it and puts it back on the table. And I saw what you did. And then Moses came in, like the Moses. And what you guys don't know about Moses is that he was a really big scumbag. Yeah, and he was known for running around and giving women STDs. That's where the term burning bush came from. Yeah, Moses had a dirty dick. Anyway, he walks in and he was on a date, and the woman was like, Moses, I don't want to have sex with you. It's that time of the month, trust me. You don't want to go down there, it's nothing but a sea of red. And Moses looked at her and said, clearly, you haven't read my resume. He parted the Red Sea. Okay, let's go. There's nothing funny about HIV or AIDS. Nothing at all. But I'm gonna try my best. So, Charlie Sheen, he contracted HIV in 2013, and he has a documentary about his life that's coming out next year. And I think a good title would be 2.5 White Blood Cells. Because he's gonna die of AIDS. fuck it, let's go. I'm a movie buff. I love movies. Has anybody seen the new Batman?
I wish.
Have you seen it?
I wish.
No? Okay, anyway. Oh, no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. But no, Robert Pattinson, the pretty white boy from Twilight, he's the new Batman. And when they cast him, I was like, my friend was like, Jeff, what do you think about that? And I was like, worst vampire ever. It took him all this time to finally turn into a bat. It took too long. Does anybody have kids? Kids?
Woo!
Another pathetic ass applause. I understand. But no, I have 2 kids, and I love them to death. I love them more than anything, but I don't like them at all. I don't like them. It was a lot easier when they were younger. Like my daughter, she would come up to me at least 5 times a day. Daddy, do you want to hear me sing Let It Go? Of course, princess. That was when she was 2. She just turned 7, and yesterday I asked if she would sing to me, and she told me to fuck off. And my son, he's a little bit better. I don't like to smoke weed in front of either of them, so I'll go in the bathroom and smoke. And today I was smoking in the bathroom, and my 10-year-old son came in right after me. I'm like, oh shit. And he comes out, and there was smoke still billowing out of the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, I hope he's not high. He goes straight to the fridge and grabs a cupcake and says, Daddy, I know how they built the pyramids. So I want him to calm down. So I put on one of his favorite movies. Are there any Fast and Furious fans out there? I set you up, those movies suck. Those movies suck, they're terrible. Thank you though, but my son, he's only 10 years old and he was high for his first time, so he didn't know any better. So we're watching it, 2 dudes are in a car, they jump over the Grand Canyon, landed, no damage done to the car, and I stand up, I'm like, that is preposterous. And my son's still holding his cupcake, he's like, no dad, that's ludicrous. One more and I'm out of here. Like I said, I smoke a lot of weed. And yesterday, I deal with racism all the time, but I didn't think that it would extend into breakfast cereals. So yesterday I was having some Rice Krispies and I was hot on my mind. And I wanted to see what would happen if I poured a small amount of Cocoa Krispies on top. And then I remember the commercials where the kid would put his ear to the bowl and hear the Rice Krispies talk. So I poured the milk, put my ear to the bowl, and listened in shock and horror as the Rice Krispies, referring to the Cocoa Krispies, said, well, there goes the neighborhood. Thank you, Jeff Warren.
Woo! Much better, right?
How about another hand for Jeff Warren, ladies and gentlemen? You guys having a good time? All right, keep that
See how
energy
he-
up for your next comic. Don't stop. Come on, keep clapping. Come on.